Deshe de deshe vaishe Gaurangera gana Urbaba kori vando Sabarajaya Hoyache na hoye bena Prabhu jato dasa Sabara charana vando Tante korega Brahmanda tarite shakti Tare jane jane Evera purane guna gai jeva sune Mahaprabhur gana sabha patita pavana Soe lobe moe papi lohe no sharana Vandana karite moe kato shakti dori Tamo buri dose moe damba macha kori Tatati mokera bhagya mane raulasa Dosa kshami moadame karoni jadasa Sarva vansha siddhi hoy yama banda chute Jagate dorlabha hoya prema dana lute Mane ravasana pona achirate hoya Devi ki nandana dasa Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav. Just realized we have a lot of Nitai bhajans, so maybe let's go straight there, huh? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have one?
Yeah. 163. Nadia, Nadia Godru me Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachena Mahatta Jivera Karan. Just give it to him, maybe. Nadia, Nadia Godru me Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachena Mahatta Jivera Karan. Shravan jan hai, Shravan jan hai, Patiyachana mahat jivera karan. Nadia, Nadia Godu me Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachana mahat jivera karan. Godu me Nityananda Prabhupada Jaya Bhai Mage Bhiksha Kara Krishna Bhajo Krishna Kara Krishna Shiksha Nadia, Nadia Godu me Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachena mahata jivera karan. Nityananda. Aparara sunya hello Krishna na. Aparara sunya hello Krishna na. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Aparara sunya hello Krishna nam. Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dana Pran. Nariya Godrumi Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachena Mahata Jivera Karan. Krishna samsara kara chare anancha. Krishna samsara kara chare anancha. Jivadaya Krishna nama sarvadamasa. Nariya Godrumi Nityananda Mahajan Patiyachena Mahata Jivera Karan. Jaya Nita Jaya Go Jaya Nita Jaya Go. Jaya Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram. Gaur Premanande. Yeah, I have to go take cookies out of the oven.
On the island of Godrum, in the land of Nadia, the magnanimous personality Sri Nityananda Prabhu has opened a marketplace of the holy name for the benefit of all living beings. There he calls out, O persons of faith, O persons of faith! On the order of Sri Gauranga, O brothers, I beg these alms from you. Chant the names of Krishna, worship Krishna, and follow the instructions of Krishna. Being free of offenses, chant the holy names of Krishna. Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father, and Krishna is the treasure of our life. Give up all sinful behavior and live your life with Krishna at the center. The essence of all forms of religion is to show compassion upon all living beings and chant the holy names of Krishna. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
84?
Page 84. Padma Kanuna. Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Nitai Goda Chandra Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chanda Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabhavatara Sarosiromani Sabhavatara Sarosiromani Sabhavatara Sarosiromani Kevala Nanda Kanda Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Bajo Bajo Bai Chaitanya Nitai Sudha Vivasa Kori Bajo Bajo Bai Chaitanya Nitai Sudha Vivasa Kori Vishaya Chadiya Serasa Majia Vishaya Chadiya Serasa Majia Vishaya Chadiya Serasa Majia Mukhe Bolo Bhari Hari Bolo Hari Hari Parama Karuna Paui Dujana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Dekor by Tubavan enai Emona Diala Data Dekor by Tubavan enai Emona Diala Data Pasu Pakinuje Pasana Vidare Pasu Pakinjure Pasana Vidare Pasu Pakijure Pasana Vidare Pasana Vidare Pasana Vidare Sunijara Gunata Sunijara Gunagata Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Samsara Majia Rahila Bodhiya Sebadena ilo asha Samsara Majia Rahilo Bodhiya Sebadena ilo asha Apana karama bunjaya samana Apana karama bunjaya samana Apana karama bunjaya samana Koe chana dasa Koe chana dasa Parama Karuna Pauji Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Parama Karuna Pauji Jana Nitai He Gaura He Nitai He Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda. The two lords, Nitai and Gaurachand, are supremely merciful. They are the essence and the crown jewels of all avatars, and they are the source of absolute bliss. O brother, worship Chaitanya Nitai with unwavering faith, renouncing material enjoyment and drowning yourself in that ras of worshiping them. Let your lips chant Hari, Hari. Just see, dear brother, in all the three worlds, no one bestows mercy like they do. Animals and birds shed tears and stones melt upon hearing narrations of their glories. Lochandas says, since you remain submerged in material enjoyment, the aspiration to take shelter of their lotus feet has not arisen. Thus, you suffer the consequences of your own misdeeds, as meted out by Lord Yam. Sri Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. I can go 86 if you want me to. I didn't know that one well enough to sing. You do? I said, no, the last one. I didn't know that one well enough. I just did. Yeah. Just do it. Just do it. Just try it.
61. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, Aniya Premera Bhanya. Basailo Avani Aniya Premera Vanya Basailo Avani Premer Vanya Loya Nitai Oilo Goda Deshe Katagana Dinahina Vashe Dinahina Patitapa Maranahi Vache Dinahina Kamara Dolaba Prema Sabakare Jache Brahmara Dolaba Prema Sabakata Abadha Karuna Sindhu Katiya Mohana Kabadha Lochan bole mora nitai Jebana baji lo Lochan bole mora nitai Jebana baji lo Janiya suniya se Atmagati hai lo Janiya suniya Nitai guna mani ama Nitai guna mani Nitai guna mani Nitai guna mani Aniya pe mera banya Pasai lo abani Aniya pe mera banya Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai is a jewel of all virtues. My Nitai is a jewel of all virtues. He has inundated the entire world with a flood of divine love, prema. Nitai has come to the land of Goda, Bengal, bringing that flood of prema. The devotees are submerged in it, but the wretched and lowly remain floating. He does not discriminate against the wretched, lowly, fallen, and sinful. He freely offers to everyone that prema that is so rare that it is difficult for even Lord Brahma to obtain. By cutting a channel in the dam, holding the unlimited ocean of mercy, Nitai has caused a flood of nectarian prema to surge in each and every house. Lochan Das says, whoever has not worshipped my Nitai knowingly commits suicide. Shri Lochan Das Thakur ki. Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Prabhu. You got one? No. You know it? Yeah. But I can try. It's also, I don't know, someone. Yeah, it's okay.
It's an accident. That's perfect. But slower. I want the wood and the stick. Page 60. Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Abhimana sunya nitai nagare vedai. Abhimanya sunya nitai. Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Abhimana sunya nitai nagare vedai. Adama patita jive dvare dvare giya. Dvare giya Harinama Maha Mantra dice na bailiya. Maha Mantra dice na bileya. Jare deke tare kohe dante trinadori. Amare kiniya laho bolo gora hari. Hare kiniya. Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Abhimana sunya nitai nagare vedai. Eto boli Nityananda bhume gadi jaya. Sonaida parvata heno dula telotai. Heno avatare jararati na janmilo. Heno avatare jaranati na janmilo. Lochana bolse papielo aragelo. Lochan bole se papielo aragelo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Right. Now I remember that. You're right. That's right. Sorry. Yeah. The noble Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of supreme transcendental bliss, is never angry. Devoid of all false ego, he wanders throughout the town, going from door to door among the residents of lowly and fallen souls, he freely distributes the Harinam Mahamantra. Holding a straw in his teeth, he calls out to whomever he sees, "Please purchase me," by calling out Gauranga. Speaking in this way, Nityananda Prabhu rolls on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Lochan Das says, that sinful person who has not experienced the awakening of attachment for such an avatar simply comes and goes in the endless cycle of birth and death. Bolo Gorahari. Where are you going? No, I don't think so. What's the song where Nityananda's in the marketplace giving it away for free? You know the song where Nityananda's in the marketplace giving it away for free? That's what she sang. Okay. Oh, yeah. What's the name of the? Don't know.
Yeah, I had 163 because I took a picture of that.
Bado Sukar. You know it?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't say it.
okay, you want to sing Nadia Godriman? Oh. What did you say you wanted to sing? Page number?
173.
173?
Yeah. Getting nervous. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachre Amar Man. Nitai Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachre Amar Man. Nachre Amar Man. Nachre Amar Man. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachre Amar Man. Emana doyal tunai hai. Emana doyal tunai hai. Mar ke prema deya. Mar ke prema deya. Ore aparada dure jabe pame prema dan. Ore aparada dure. Ore aparada dure jabe pabe premadan. O nama aparada vichara tunai hai. O nama aparada vichara tunai hai. Takon Krishna namaruchi habe guchi pe bandan. Takon Krishna namaruchi habe. Takon Krishna namaruchi habe guchi pe bandan. Daya Nitai Chaitanya bole nachre amar man. Daya Nitai Chaitanya bole nachre amar man. Krishna name anaragatu habe. Krishna name anuragatu habe. Tako nanayasa safal habe jivera jivan. Tako nanayasa safal habe jivera jivan. Krishna rati bina jivan tumi chahe. Krishna rati bina jivana tumi chahe. Seshe vrindavana radhe shamer pabe darashan. Seshe vrindavana radha shamer pabe darashan. Goy kripa hole, Goy kripa hole, Nitai kripa hole, Nitai kripa hole, Daya Nitai Chaitanya bole nachre amar man. Daya Nitai Chaitanya bole nachre amar man. Nachre amar man, nachre amar man. Nachre amar man, nachre amar man. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Nitai. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Nitai Gora Hari bol. Chant the holy names of the magnificent Nita and Chaitanya and dance, my dear mind, dance, O mind, just dance. There is no one as merciful as Nitai, for despite being beaten, he bestowed prem. By chanting their names, your offenses will go far away, and you will obtain the treasure of prem. There is no consideration of offenses in chanting their holy names. Then you will develop a taste for Krishna Nam, and your bondage to material existence will be destroyed. You will develop deep attachment to Krishna Nam. Then automatically your life will become successful. Without attachment to Sri Krishna, this life is simply useless. If you receive the mercy of Sri Gauranga, ultimately you will receive the darshan of Sri Sri Radha Shamasundar in Vrindavan.
maybe. Always follow her, you're safe. All right, is everybody ready? 267. Sarachandra Brantim Spuradamalakhantim Gajagatim Hari Prema Matam Jita Parama Sarvam Smitamukam Sadagunam Netram Karakalita Vetram Kalibidam Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Rasanamagaram Swajanagana Savaswamatulam Tadiaika Prana Mavashura Janavapatim Sada Prema Mada Paramavidita Mandamanasam Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Sachi Sunu Preshtam Nikila Jagadishtam Sukamayam Kalo Maja Jivo Dharana Karano Dhamma Karuna Ayakyanadva Bhava Jaladi Kavo Natiharam Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Aye Vartanirnam Kali Kalushinam Kim Nubhavita Tata Prayaschitam Rachaya Yadanaya Sataime Prajanti Twamitam Saha Bhagavata Mantrayatiyo Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Tishtamre Brata Kuru Hari Hari Dvanamanisham Tatova Samsaram Buddhi Tarana Dayo Mailaget Idam Bahuspote Ratati Ratayanya Pratigriham Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Balat Samsarambo Nidhi Haranakum Bodhvavamaho Satam Shreya Sindhu Nati Kumuda Bandhum Samuditam Kali Shreni Spurja Timirahara Surya Prabhamaham Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Natantam Gayantam Harimanuvadantam Patipati Prajantam Pashantam Swamapinadayantam Janaganam Tam Santam Sakaruna Jigantam Prakalana Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Subhibranam Bratu Karasarisi Jam Komalataram Mito Vaktra Loko Chalita Paramananda Hirtoyam Brahmantamadurye Ahahamadayantam Purajanan Vajanitanandam Vajanatarukantam Niravadi Rasanamadaram Rasikavarasad Vaishnavadanam Rasagaram Saram Patitatataram Smaranata Param Nityananda Sakamidama Purvam Patatiyas Tadangri Dwam Bajam Spuratu Nitaram Tahidoye Bhaje Nityananda Bhajana Tarukandam Niravadi Jaya Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Nitai Jaya Nitai Nitai Jaya Nitai. The sphere? I want the other book. I'm just kidding. You're too much. The sphere of his bright face resembles a wandering autumnal moon. His pure complexion glistens. His gait is like that of an elephant. He is utterly intoxicated in Krishna Prem, and he is the personification of pure spiritual energy, Vishuddhasattva. His face is smiling, his eyes are ever rolling, his hand holds a staff, and by the performance of Nam Sankirtan, he dispels the forces of Kali. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
Everything to his devotees. He is beyond compare, and he's the dear husband of Vasudha and Janava Devi, who are his very life. He is always maddened in praying, and he is unknown only to those of mundane intelligence like me. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
He is most dear to mother such his son. He is worshipped by the entire universe and he is forever filled with joy. By his unbounded mercy, he rescues the souls drowning in this age of Kali. And by performing Sri Harinam Sankirtan, he evaporates the swelling pride in this ocean of mundane existence. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
O my brother, contaminated by the vices of Kali Yuga, what will become of mankind? He thus advises the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, please devise a purificatory method whereby they can easily attain your shelter. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
O brothers, simply chant incessantly the names of Sri Hari, and let the responsibility of delivering you from the ocean of repeated birth and death rest upon me. While traveling constantly, he approached the door of every home, declaring this with outreached arms. I perpetually worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
How astonishing. He is just like Agastya Muni, who once swallowed the entire ocean, forcibly swallowing the ocean of repeated birth and death. He is the rising moon that causes the ocean of saintly persons' good fortune to swell. He is the brilliant sun, blazing before the multitude of rogues and dispelling the darkness of their ignorance. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
Dancing, singing, and calling out the names of Sri Hari, and delighting his own associates, who are also absorbed in Sri Harinam Kirtan. With his darshan, he roams each and every path, casting merciful glances upon the saintly from the corners of his eyes. I perpetually worship Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
He gently held the supremely soft lotus hand of his brother, their hearts soaring upwards in the highest bliss as they gazed at each other's faces. He wandered here and there. He delighted the townspeople with his sweetness. I perpetually worship the Nityananda Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree.
May Sri Nityananda Prabhu's two lotus feet brilliantly manifest in the hearts of those who recite this unprecedented and supremely potent Nityananda Shtakam, which is the receiver of Ras, the treasure of excellent Rasika Vaishnavas, and the adove of the essence of Bhakti Ras. It bestows liberation upon all fallen souls who simply remember it. Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
Can you pass me the harmonium? Wait a second, you were the one who started. You know it. No, I was gonna do like. You want that one? I was gonna do just a very basic one that Radhikanta Prabhu taught us. The
I'll try. I mean, I'll probably botch it too.
I wasn't gonna watch it.
Thanks. Come here. Pooja, come sit here. Hold my hand. Shri Krishna Virahe Radhikara Dasa Amito Sahite Nari. Krishna Virahe Sahite Nari. Yugala Milana Sukera Karana Jivana Chadite Pari. Sukera Karana Jivana Chadite Pari. Shri Krishna Virahe Radhikara Dasa Amito Sahite Nari. Sahite Nari. Radhika Charana Tajia Amara Shaneke Palaya Oya. Palaya Oya. Radhikara Tare Shatabara Mari Seduka Amara Saya. Namanasaya Shri Krishna Virahe Radhikara Dasa Amito Sahite Nari. Jai Shri Radhe. Sahite Nari. Eno Radhara Charana Yugale Parichaya Pabokave. Pabokave Ahabraja Jana More Joya Kori Kabe Braja Vane Labe. Vilasa Manjari, Ananga Manjari, Shirupa Manjari Ara. Manjari, Shirupa Manjari Ara. Amake Tulia, Lohani Japare, Tehomore Siddhi Sara. Amore Siddhi Sara. Shri Krishna Virahe Radhikara Dasa Amito Sahite Nadi. Yugala Milana Sukera Karana Jivana Charite Pari. Jivana Charite Pari. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Premanande. I cannot tolerate Radhika's condition and separation from Sri Krishna. Thus, I am fully prepared to give up my life for the sake of their happy reunion. If I were to renounce Radhika's lotus feet for even an instant, I would become totally devastated. For Radhika's sake, I would tolerate the agony of death hundreds of times. When shall I attain the service of Sri Radha's lotus feet? O residents of Braj, when will you be merciful to me and take me into the forests of Braj? O Vilas Mandri, Ananga Mandri, and Shri Rupa Mandri, lift me up and bring me close to your lotus feet, thus granting me the ultimate perfection.
Karagarja. Thanks. Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Nama Yang Pravrajanta Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Vira Kataruva Juhava Putre Ditanmayataya Taruvo Benedos Tang Sarvabhu Taridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparadalakshay Chiptascha Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamayi Twang Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivamitam Bina Iti Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike Kripayati Yadiradha Padita Shishabada Kima Paravishishtam Pushti Maryadayorme Yadi Vadati Chakinchit Smeraha Sodita Srir Dvijavaramani Panktya Mukti Shaktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanidhe Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Prananata Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimakabjara Salola Satapada Radhika Paratale Kritastita Tam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekara Samvidaya Dashine Trinam Vivo Prartaye Brajamahendra Nandan Astu Mohantavati Ballabha Janma Janmani Madheswari Priya. If Sri Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacles to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to attain because I will have received the excellence offered by the paths of both Vaidhi and Rag. And if she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of the rows of her beautiful pearl-like teeth, then what significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shamasundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, whose merely flute enchants the mind, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. O ocean of mercy, please make me a kinkari maidservant at the feet of your beloved. You are the Lord of the life of the daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj, and you are like a bee, always eager to taste the nectar of her lotus-like face. Sikshekar, foremost of those who are rasi, who is situated at the feet of Srimati Radhika, I worship you. O son of the king of Braj, O all-pervading one, O Mohan, who enchants the minds of all. Taking a piece of straw in my teeth, I pray that your supremely beloved Sri Radha be my dear, worshipful goddess, birth after birth. He's very intelligent. The oyster of liberation. It's as useless as an oyster. Yeah, then the other liberation, which is an oyster in comparison to your beautiful rows of pearl-like teeth, is so magnificent that the oyster doesn't give such a nice pearl. And that's liberation.
Like the oyster is the useless shell you throw away. We're calling that mukti. Is that no?
You're fine.
Oh, he's being funny.
As usual. Okay. But not like the pearls on Radharani. Her pearls grow from plants. They were successful, but then Krishna made it look like they weren't successful. Okay, so first I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and all of his divine associates, and all of our associates, all of our assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Bhan Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Okay, can everybody turn to page 13? Sankarshana Karunatoy Shayi Garbhodashayi Chapayobdashayi Shesha Shreya Shanksha Kalajadintya Nandaksharama Sharanam Namastu Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalokamashanashaya Janava Prataye Namaha. Sankarshan, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana, Garbha, and Kir oceans are the plenary portions and portions of the plenary portions of Sri Nityananda Ram. May he give me shelter. I offer pranam to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who bestows the bliss of divine love, who eliminates the filth of the age of Kali, and who is master of Janava Devi. So you're all here to glorify Nityananda Prabhu on this auspicious day. And I'm going to begin because I'm going to be speaking from chapter 5 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is all about Nityananda Tattva. And then other devotees will be speaking about Lord Nityananda's childhood pastimes, youthful pastimes. And what are you speaking about, Gaur? All right, he's spontaneous. And what is anybody else speaking about? Raga is speaking about Guru Tattva. Huh? Oh, you're speaking on Sunday. Okay, and Haridas Prabhu? Okay, that's good. Yeah, childhood. Meniketan Ramdas. Anybody else speaking this morning? All right, so in the songs and in the mantras, the prayers, like what we just did, Sankarshana Karunatoya Shayi, really all the philosophy is there in a nutshell. And then this chapter is fluffing out the condensed cotton of whatever you just experienced. So Gurdev was saying in this lecture in Malaysia that there's one existence, which is one complete existence called Sat Chit Ananda. That's one personality manifest as three to exhibit this Satchitananda form of the Lord. The first is, which is called Adar Shakti, means the best potency, is Nityananda Balaram. Can you walk out if you want to talk? I know it's a good thing, but it's distracting. So, Adar Shakti, or the best potency, he's the pot. Without pot, you can't have anything in the pot, like water or anything. So he's the existence potency, or it's also called the Sandini potency, the existence potency, on which Radha and Krishna and all their associates' pastimes stand. And then, so it's Chat, Sat, and then Chit. Just as Balaram Nityananda is the embodiment or worshipful deity of the Sat potency, so Krishna is the embodiment of the Chit potency, also called Sanbit potency, which is the potency of knowledge, the potency by which Krishna knows himself and everyone else can know him. Now, knowledge, when it becomes more intense, it reached a higher state, then it becomes an experience, isn't it? So, like, so-and-so left with my wife. That's knowledge. I have that knowledge. But then when I think about it, because so-and-so walked off with my wife, it gets to an emotional state. and that is Krishna. It's called bhav or mood. So he's knowledge mixed with mood. When that mood comes to the highest, most ecstatic state, that is called the Ananda potency, also called Hladini potency, which has as its presiding deity Srimati Radhika. So together they make the one absolute truth, Satchit Ananda. And Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. So here, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is describing the glory of Nityananda Prabhu. He calls it in 6 verses, but the verses are spread out throughout the chapter. That is, Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. And Balaram, when we say Balaram, you can also say Nityananda Prabhu, because they're non-different. Just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna, so Nityananda Balaram. Nityananda is non-different from Balaram. So he's his second body. He's called the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. And they only differ in form and say what they carry. Like Balaram carries a mussel and a club. Mussel like a plow. And Krishna carries a flute. Balaram carries a buffalo horn, and sometimes Krishna does too. And they differ in color. Otherwise, they're non-different. And Nityananda Balaram is the source of all other incarnations. He serves him in many ways. He serves him in Vrindavan as older brother. He previously served him as a younger brother when Krishna appeared as Ram. But he was very unhappy in that incarnation as Lakshman, because Ram's pastimes are full of suffering, and he had to assist with those suffering pastimes even though he didn't want to. He had to personally bring Sita out to the forest to be exiled. He had to personally make a pyre, a fire pyre, to test Sita in. And he knew that it was against his principles of serving Krishna to his full capacity. So he swore at the end of those pastimes, I'm never coming as a younger brother again. Which is fine, because the original is not Lakshman. It's Balaram, Nityananda. So he served as Krishna's older brother to give him all good guidance, protection, create a ras whenever Krishna and Radha are together. He made a point of not being there, because that is the etiquette of the parent, and the elder brother is like a parent. That's why you don't find Gaurnitai in the same section as you find Radha and Krishna deities, because of Nityananda being in that mood. But you do find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he's there alone, together with them, because he's non-different from them. He also serves in Vrindavan as the land, because he's the base, he's the foundation, he's the pot. So he serves as the Dham. He serves the Dham as Ayodhya, as Vrindavan, as Mathura, as Dwarka, as Vaikuntha. And when Krishna was in the womb, first Balaram was in the womb of Devaki to set the stage and create the Dham. And then Krishna entered into the Devaki, who was the Dham, after Balaram entered. And then Balaram also serves as a cowherd friend to play with Krishna and the other boys. Then he's not satisfied with that because he wants to serve, since he's Krishna's second body, he wants to serve Krishna in every capacity. So he also becomes, he manifests as all the trees of Vrindavan, as the buildings in Vrindavan, as Krishna's mother and father. And he manifests as all the associates of Krishna in Vrindavan, all the jivas there who are not called jivas, but are called associates. And he also manifests as the associates of Srimati Radhika. So he's the manifester in Vrindavan. Yes. Gurudev, didn't he just say that today in that February lecture? You can check it. But then again, there are co-manifestors. So Radharani is also the manifester of her Kaya Vyuha associates. Then, but he's not satisfied. He wants to serve in the conjugal mellow, but no male except for Krishna can do that. So he manifests as as Radharani's younger sister, Ananga Manjari, who plays the part of a Manjari of Radhika to assist in her pastimes with Krishna, and also as a independent Saki, to have an independent relationship with Krishna. And her dwelling is right in the middle of Radhakund. She has this little island in there. Huh? What? I don't know. All right, so then he also wants to help us to come back to Godhead. Because as you know, we made the wrong choice. We went in the wrong direction. And since the beginning of time, we've been rotating throughout the 8,400,000 species. So Nityananda Balaram wants to help with creation, because the whole purpose of the creation is to help the living entities go back to Godhead, isn't it? So he does a lot of work in that regard. So he becomes manifest as the jivas who are associates of Krishna in Vrindavan, and that's in his original form. Then in Mathura and Dwarka, he manifests as Mool, root, Sankarshan of there's something called a Chatur Vyuha, which are 4 expansions. Krishna is Vasudev, Baladev is Sankarshan, and then there's Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And they all serve in different functions.
When you say he manifests as,
You're okay.
You're okay? Okay. When you say that he manifests as the associates, or he manifests at, like, does that mean he manifests their bodies, or they are him?
They're not the full him. They're his manifestations. And it's a combination of Radharani manifests their bhakti, he manifests their bodies and their ability to serve. It's really a combination. But the jiva is mostly called the manifestation of Baladev. And she gives them the bliss of bhakti as well, Radharani. So manifestation means not the full. The most that you can get is a plenary portion and portions of the plenary portions. So he manifests as the jivas who are serving Krishna in Vrindavan. Then in Mathura and Dwarka, as Mul Sankarshan, he manifests the jivas who aren't called jivas there. They're called associates who serve Parikar for the Sanskrit, who serves Krishna in Mathura and Dwarka. And then he expands further as Maha Sankarshan in Vaikuntha. And he manifests as the associates of Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. And then he himself manifests as Mahavishnu, who we were discussing the other day. With his desire to create, he impregnates the unmanifest material nature and causes her to be manifest, or you can say Durga. Prabhupada once mentioned cloudy Durga, and causes her to manifest as all the varieties of matter. Now you can say, well, I thought Lord Shiva does that work of uniting with Durga. So that is from the glance of Mahavishnu comes the what do you call it? This halo or semblance of that glance, and that's Shiva Linga. But Shiva Linga is also, and Lord Shiva is also a manifestation of Baladev Nityananda. So that's also amazing. See how much work he does. Then it's that same Baladev who manifests Mahavishnu, and from him innumerable universes come from his exhale and re-enter his body on the inhale. And then Baladev further manifests as Garbhodakshai Vishnu in each and every universe, and he sees there only darkness. So he lies down there on another of Baladev's expansions called Sheshanag, the innumerable hooded serpent who acts as his bed and his umbrella and his, this is a pastime, by the way. It's called we're all doing pastimes. This is called Shristi Leela, or the pastime of creation. Where am I? Manifests as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who sees only darkness, and so he lies down on Sheshanag, but serpents generally lie down on the water. So out of his own perspiration, he created an ocean which fills up the bottom half of the universe. And then the top half of the universe is space. And then from his navel lake comes a stem, and on that stem is situated all the planets of that particular universe. On the top of the stem is the lotus flower on which Lord Brahma, the engineer of the universe, manifests. So these are all coming from Baladev Nityananda. And then you've seen in the third canto how Lord Brahma manifested various various people in the different varnashram system, the different demigods coming from his arms. So this is all coming down from Nityananda Balaram. And then he further manifests as Sheshanag, Kiradakshai Vishnu, thank you so much, as Kiradakshai Vishnu. And Kiradakshai Vishnu is also very interesting because he has a planet within this universe, at the top of the universe, but it's not a material planet, it's a spiritual planet. And he's, on one hand, he's the super soul of all living entities. How many living entities are there? Unlimited, innumerable. And he takes the time to be the super soul in every one, giving them the reactions like a judge. If somebody does something bad, unless there's a witness, then the person can't be rewarded or punished. So he acts as the witness and the judge to know what the person did and then judge the person. Yes. So Atul Prabhu is saying that this is the job of Yamaraj to judge. But the super soul is also in the body of Yamaraj. Yamaraj externally says, okay, he can go there and there. But who's the original deciding factor is the super soul. Yeah.
Are you talking the Paramatma?
Talking about the Paramatma.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's the super soul. And he also lives on his own island. 4 months out of the year, he lies down and rests on Sheshanag. And the other months, he's in Svetadweep, which is a white island. It was a white city on a white island. And then he lies down in a white ocean of milk. And whenever the demigods want to tell him about some problem and ask him for some help, headed by Brahma, they go to that ocean of milk. So, so Kiradakshai Vishnu sits on a throne with Lakshmi Devi in his palace. And when Prabhupada had us paint that, I asked him, is everything white? Like all the rocks are white and the flowers are white? Because it's a white island and a white city. And here's the picture. And he said, no, you can make the trees green and rocks, rock color. So this is all extremely exciting, all the things that Nityananda does. And I'm just putting everything in a shortcut nutshell. But if you read this whole chapter, it's so amazing. And then Sheshanag, sometimes it says in here in the same chapter that he's the source of all the incarnations. And sometimes it says he's the super soul because, they're all one person. So we just want to see the relationship. But the main thing that Sheshanag does, whereas Balaram and the Vishnus, they assist in the creation. So Sheshanag does personal service, like he acts as his bed in his own body, he acts as his pillow, he acts as his umbrella. He has planets on his hoods, he's so gigantic that he can't even feel those planets on his hoods. And universes on his hoods. Well, let's say, yeah, his planets. So, and he serves as a personal servant everywhere in all the abodes with the original Krishna and all of Krishna's incarnations. For example, he manifests as Krishna's earrings. We say that Balaram does, but in what capacity does Balaram do that? And he serves as his slippers. He serves Lord Vishnu as his decorations as well as his ornaments. It's quite amazing. So Krishnadas Kaviraj is praying, may Nityananda Ram, that's the prayer we said at the beginning. And it's good to know this one. It's at the beginning of our songbook, page 13. May Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, that's Mahasankarshan, Mul Sankarshan, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, the ocean of cause, Garbhadak ocean, the ocean that Garbha means a womb, so from his womb comes the navel lake, and the ocean of milk, Kir, the Kiradakshai, and his plenary portions are his plenary portions and portions of his plenary portions. Really, our consciousness gets so expanded by all this remembrance. What? Yeah, all the avatars come from Kiradakshai Vishnu. That means like Lord Varaha, Lord Nrsingadev, all of them. Some of them are like larger incarnations, like Lord Ram and Lord Nrsinga are special. Lord Nrsingadev is the, talk about ornaments, weapons. Lord Nrsingadev is the disc, incarnation of the disc. That's why we have the chakra above Lord Nrsingadev's altar, you can see. Is the manifestation of Krishna's chakra. Also, he manifests as the Brahman effulgence, which is the sky in between all the Vaikuntha planets. In fact, he manifests as the whole Paravyoma, the whole spiritual sky, with all the Vaikuntha planets, and the topmost Goloka planet, which is shaped like 1,000-petaled lotuses. There's lots of lotuses in these pastimes. What? It's like he's practically all of existence. Exactly. So he's the Adistatri Devata, or the presiding deity of existence.
He manifests them or he is them, or both?
What?
He manifests them or he is them?
Them, what's them?
The planets and the skies.
Well, they're not the full. Like a Vaikuntha planet is non-different from the Lord. But he's not the Lord. He can't dance in the rasa dance. Well, neither can Balaram. Balaram does have his own rasa dance, though. But the Vaikuntha planet can't play with Krishna. So it's a manifestation of Balaram. A plenary portion of Balaram or a portion of a plenary portion of Balaram. At the same time, his abode is also identical with him because It's eternal, it's full of bliss, it's full of knowledge, and it has six opulences. His abode has his six opulences of all beauty, wealth, fame, knowledge, renunciation. I don't know how an abode can have renunciation. Good. All right, so we could go on unlimitedly, but really like to hear from the other devotees. So I'll stop here. Nityananda Balaram Ki Jai. Panchakovatri Vyashika Vishnu Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishna. And Sweta, this Sweta Ganga, you also manifest the Ganga, because the Ganga is a drop from the causal ocean. So this must have been a mouthful for you. You keep sitting through it, through all these classes. All right, so now, who shall we call on? You ready, or you want to hear from the others first? All right. All right, but we're not going to stop until prasadam time. What? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so who'd like to be next? Okay, Sharda, if you can take a seat here. And speaking of seat, can I request the first devotees who start bhajans every morning to put out pillows for everybody? Serve the Vaishnavas. Are you getting in Gornitai too? Were you getting Gornitai in before? Hmm?
Okay. Gyanatimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shamarani Mataram Vande Agyopiadanugrahat Chaitbhavasagarakcha Labhe Krishna Premadanam Shri Krishna Rupaya Vaidiki Kala Visheshagya Namamyaham Pujam Shamaranim Swaparikaraya.
You don't know how ridiculous that sounds to me.
That's why I asked her. I was like, should I say it? And I was like, I'm going to say it. Well, first I offer my obeisances into the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Guru Devi, Srimati Shamarani Didi, and the same unlimited obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of my Param Guru Devs, Nichilila Pravishya Om Vishnu Padastotra Sat Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and similarly to Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I'll be speaking on Lord Nityananda's childhood pastimes, but first I wanted to talk a bit, just mention again who is Lord Nityananda. And we hear from Guru Devi that he is non-different from Balaram, but there is still one difference that we can point out, which is their moods. Lord Nityananda is different according to his Leela. And we see that it's all compassion, all mercy, all the time. There's no anger. And where Baladev and even Lakshman, we see some anger manifest, whether it's like killing demons or in battle.
especially Balaram later in his life in Dwarka Leela, we see a lot of, he's very feisty and very angry. But Lord Nityananda is all merciful and all blissful. And that is his name. It's Nitya Ananda, which is eternally Ananda, blissful. And we can see so much of this bliss through his life and through his pastimes. So he was born in Ekachakra to Padmavati and Hidai Pandit. He was a very beautiful child and everybody adored him. And he spent most of his childhood playing with his friends, always enacting Krishna Leela, fully absorbed in the bhav of whatever character he was, whether it was in the role of Balaram or Krishna. Him and his friends would play, killing so many demons. They would dress up as Putana or set up a cart, and he'd bust them open, and they would all get excited, and he'd be absorbed in that. And he would do Govardhan Leela, and there was even a part where I read where when they were enacting Akrura taking Balaram and Krishna from Vrindavan, he was so absorbed actually in the mood of the gopis. He was crying rivers and rivers of tears in separation from Braj. And in Ram Leela, I read that they took castor oil plants and they would put them in the river to make the bridge to Lanka, and different boys would dress up as the monkeys and Lord Ram and Lakshman and everybody. So there's a pastime when they're doing the Ram Leela of the battle in Lanka, and he's playing the role of Lakshman, and he's so deep in his moods that when Lakshman is shot by Meghanath, Nityananda Prabhu he goes unconscious, and he's unshakable, and everybody starts getting very worried, like that he's actually going to die. And all the boys are full of tears, and they don't know what to do, so they go and tell his parents, and they tell other adults that we don't know how to help our Nitai. And they remember that he actually warned them, if I go unconscious, you need to go get this herb. So Hanuman goes and gets something that plays the role of the...
There was an elderly gentleman, and he reminded them. Oh. What did he tell you?
Right.
And who's Hanuman? What did he tell you? What happens when he goes unconscious? And then they remember.
Right. Yeah, that is how it went. And Hanuman goes to get the herb, which is called Sanjivani. And that elder person, they give it to him, and they wave it in front of his nose. And then immediately he wakes up and exclaims, Jai Shri Ram. And pastimes like this go on until he's about 12 years old. And this is simultaneously when Mahaprabhu appears in Navadvip. And this creates the catalyst for him to actually leave home. And this manifests through a sannyasi on pilgrimage. His name is Lakshmi Pati Tirtha. He comes to his home, his childhood home, and his family serves this sannyasi, and they ask if he needs anything. And he requests if their son can come with him on his pilgrimage. And they let him go. They give him to this sannyasi, but they're completely overtaken with separation from their son, and they don't want him to go, but they let him. And his time with this sannyasi, they go all over India. Vrindavan, Ayodhya, Dwarka. He even sees Lord Shiva and Parvati on their mountain, and they serve him. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it says, what they spoke about, only Krishna knows. So it's really kind of amazing to hear about when people know who he is in the Leelas. Like he even met Srila Vyasadeva in his abode, and they spent time together, and it just says what they spoke about, only Krishna knows. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of amazing and inconceivable. But he bathed in all the holy rivers and traveled all around. And this was really him preparing the preaching ground for Mahaprabhu, just like Baladev prepared the womb for Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu goes all over to prepare everyone to receive Mahaprabhu's mercy. And after some time, he ends up just settling in Braj Mandal or Mathura Mandal. He's there, and this is when he starts to exhibit a lot of his avadut qualities. And people think that he's crazy. He's embracing trees and cows and cowherd boys all over Braj. And he's calling out, "Oh, where is Kana? Oh, where is Krishna? Where are you? Where are you?" And
In the mood of who?
Balaram. And while this was going on, he's Lord Nityananda, so he is omnipotent. He knows everything. And during this time, he knows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still in incognito pastimes in Navadvip. And he said that I will only go to serve Mahaprabhu when his opulent pastimes start to manifest. And so until then, he just remained at sporting in Mathura. And also, during all of his travels and his time in Braj, he wasn't yet distributing devotional service until it said that he would only do it upon Lord Chaitanya's order, and he's only acting under guidance. So,
how did he know that Lord Chaitanya was in Navadvip?
Yeah, I didn't read that. It just said that he. It's just
yeah,
that he
it was an aerial
voice.
voice.
It was. Oh, okay.
You're looking for him, but you don't know that your brother Krishna has gone down to Navadvip now.
Oh, nice. And I just took from that he's our original guru, and he's only acting under guidance. So we should also follow in his footsteps and not think that we're independent. Even though he is also God himself, he's still acting.
We don't say should. We say we do. We
try.
always want to.
Okay. And it's so pleasing to Mahaprabhu to worship Nityananda Prabhu. And all over we read that you can only receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy by getting Lord Nityananda's mercy. So today I just pray that we can worship Lord Nityananda, we can follow him, and he can guide us to Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet.
Very good, excellent. Panchagovachiyavyaschagravishnavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhya. Very, very good, very bold. Okay. She did a lot of serious studying. Visvarup? Yeah. Yeah. Me neither. Who's speaking next, Raga? Is Nitai speaking? What? We asked everybody throughout the days. You didn't ask Nitai? Not personally. People need to be asked personally. In general, whenever we have a major holiday like this, like the next one is Gaur Purnima. So, right, true. But in general, you can always prepare. What? Right, that's good. Anyway, yeah, you'll fill it in. And you'll tell us what happened when. So she said that Nityananda heard a voice And so he came down to Navadvip, and you'll tell us what happened after that. Let's see.
Agyanantimirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai shrive namaha nama om vishnupadaya Udaprashnaya bhutale shrimate bhaktivedanta vana iti namine. I offer my Danva pranams in the lotus feet, to the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vangu Samaraj, and Shiksha Guru, Pujaniya Shrimati Shamrani Didi, to all of you, and then, of course, to Nitai Nityananda Prabhu on his most divine appearance day. I pray for your mercy that I'll be able to speak something pleasing. I'm going to speak about the breaking of the danda. So this is a little bit later on when Nita. Let me speak a little louder too.
Yeah.
This is a little bit later on. This is when Nityananda and Mahaprabhu are now together. There's a party going to Puri, and they're at the Barginadi River. And so Lord Chaitanya left his staff in the hands of Nityananda. And Nityananda, while keeping the staff custody, Lord Chaitanya goes into the temple of Lord Shiva called Kapileshwara. And then Lord Nityananda broke the staff into 3 parts and threw it into the river. This later then became known as Danda Banga Nadi. And so our Srila Prabhupada explains that this is a very significant pastime, and it's a very deep pastime. And then he talks about how Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, gives an explanation and talks about this. So Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas initiation from a Mayavadi philosopher. And the Mayavadis, they carried one danda, one staff. And this has to do with the gradations or the levels of sannyas. The first level, let me just read what they're called, is Kuti Chaka. After that is the Bahudaka, then's the Hamsa and Paramahamsa. And so in their sannyas order, one carries the danda, until one reaches the Hamsa or Paramahamsa stage. Lord Nityananda understood that Lord Chaitanya is the Lord himself. He does not need to carry a danda. He is beyond even the Paramahamsa stage, what to speak of the lower stages of the sannyas order. Therefore, he broke the staff into 3 parts and threw it into the river. Lord Chaitanya was very, very upset and angry about this. He said, "This is my one possession that I have, and you broke it." And at first, Nityananda said, "Oh," when Lord asked what happened, he said, "Oh, when we were dancing and swaying in ecstasy, then you fell down, and I caught it, and both of us fell on the staff together." So then Lord Chaitanya expressed a little bit of sadness and a little bit of anger. Yeah, again, he says, like, "This is my one possession, and you have not kept it." So then he chastises them and says, "Either you all go before me, or I go after you. I'm not going to travel with you in your party." Or behind me. Sorry, thank you. Or behind me to see Lord Jagannath. I will not be a part of your party. And so the reason why Lord Chaitanya was carrying the danda is because he wanted to establish the order. There's the quote from Bhagavad Gita 3, I think it's 319 or 322. It's in one of Srila Prabhupada's purports, how all common men follow the great man. So if Lord Chaitanya is not going to carry the danda and respect the sannyas order, then nobody will. So that was why Lord Chaitanya was carrying the danda. And then we heard, of course, Nityananda broke the danda because he said, "You are beyond the sannyas. You are beyond the Paramahamsa level. There's no reason for you to carry the danda." Great. So, and that's most of...
There was nothing about, this is a question.
Mm-hmm.
So he broke it into 3 parts, and that's the kind of sannyas danda that the Vaishnavas carry, serving Krishna with body, mind, and senses.
He says that he I've heard that as well, but in the purports I didn't read him specifically say that the 3 represented the each one of those, though he did mention that when one takes sannyas, one is offering mind, body, and senses. But he didn't, in the purport, he didn't specifically relate it to the danda. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Louder.
Like so the first stage is like you build your kutir, or you can stay in your ashram room, whatever. You just study. And then the next stage you go out and preach, but your preaching is a little bit rough because you're just kind of repeating what you heard. You don't quite have any realization yet. And you don't know how to like talk to the people. Then that matures to a stage, the next stage, the umsa stage. Now you're able to use your discernment better. You can see what is more appropriate to preach to. Kind of like that story with Param Gurudev where everyone goes to his householder's house and they start doing these kirtans, which are like, the world is Maya, family life is hell, and blah blah blah. And the woman starts crying and she's like, get out of my house. Like, I invite you here to bless my home, and all you say is that my life is worthless. And then she tells Param Gurudev, and he's like, he comes out and chastises everyone. You should know better. We're in a Grihasta's house, and you're sitting here singing kirtans, condemning Grihasta Dharma. So then everyone's like, oh, okay, Maharaj. So pretty much you have to have some, so that third stage, that you have more discernment. I just learned you can't use the word discrimination, so it's discernment.
Why?
Apparently, it's a negative word nowadays, even though. What's that looking at? What's that looking at? No, so I learned it the other night. So anyway, he learned he had the discernment now how to preach properly, and then the Paramahamsa stage, you're most expert, and you have now realization. So anyway, that's when you can let go of the danda. But so like you said, Lord Nityananda was like, Mahaprabhu doesn't need a danda. He's already passed these 4 stages. But Mahaprabhu's like, no, I want to show the world. Anyways, I just wanted to share that because I got that from Sripad Siddhanti Maharaj. He spoke that Harikatha describing the 4 stages.
Okay. Then what? How are you ending? Oh, you don't want to go to Puri? So then you need to become the first one is Kuti. You need to become a Kuti sannyas and read more.
By your mercy.
Read longer.
Oh, that's a good.
What? What? It wasn't a joke. Oh, it had a double meaning. Okay, good, excellent. Panchakopatriyavyaschа kripasinubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaish. Good funny pastime with a good strong siddhanta. Oh, I don't know. His own? You can tell that.
So first of all, I offer my heartfelt obeisances to my beloved Holy Master, Nityananda Vishnu Pada Sota Sota Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Naranga Goswami Maharaj, to Vishnu Pada Sota Shishimad Bhakti Bigyan Bharti Goswami Maharaj and or Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to all the assembled devotees, headed by our Srimati Sharanidhi, Gaur Prabhu, Tools Gone. Hare Krishna, Dhanavat Pranams, everybody. Hari Bol. So, on this auspicious day, one of my favorite pastimes is from Gurudev speaks in this Prabhandavali. What's it called now? Holy Days? Treasury of Holy Days. Thank you. So, once there was a lion, and once there was a barber, and the barber, in the olden days, the barber's job was also to be a messenger. So he was requested to go distribute invitations for a wedding, and he would always, when he would go distribute these invitations, he would always have his kit, his barber kit. He'd take it with him everywhere he went. So he was traveling to villages, and he entered this jungle, and he saw a lion. And at first, you see a lion, you'd get a little fearful. Then he saw that this lion wasn't moving; he was just laying down, and he was licking his own paw. And so the barber could tell there was something wrong. So he approached him and saw that he had a thorn stuck in his foot. And so he, with his tools, he removed the thorn, put some medicine on it, wrapped it up, and the lion healed. And so, as fate would have it, later on, this barber was accused of murder, and the king arrested him. And they said, "Oh, we recently caught this lion, so this will be his punishment. Throw the barber into the cage. The lion will eat him up. Will eat him up."
Cage?
Or where the lion was trapped. So put the barber in there. The lion will kill him. That'll be his punishment. So feed him to the lions. So they put the barber in there. The lion at first roared, and then he remembered the barber and what the barber did for him. And so he didn't attack him. And because the lion was so grateful to the barber for fixing.
Did he lick him or anything?
Yeah, I think he did lick him, actually. He says he began to purr and sat down. So the king was shocked. He's like, "Oh, this fierce lion's not attacking him and killing him." And then he realized, "Oh, if he's not killing them, then why should I? I must be wrong in my arresting of him." So Gurudev tells this pastime to show how even an animal is so grateful for any affection and attention. And the lion was so grateful to the barber for healing him and he remembered him. So similarly, how grateful it seems like every time I read this, it seems so shocking that Nityananda Prabhu will be grateful to us for chanting his name, because the order is to go out and chant the holy names, tell everyone we meet, every town and village, everywhere we go, everyone we meet, tell them about Krishna, as we see right there. So
I just want to interrupt to tell the second time that we heard this pastime was when me and Vasanti were in Pune with Srila Bharti Maharaj. And you can see what a wonderful helper Vasanti is for everybody, but also for me. So she was doing everything so wonderfully for me, keep me going. And then, but all I was thinking about was she didn't do that and she didn't do that. And so we were walking. It was an afternoon walk around the block with Srila Bharti Maharaj. And he would stop and sit down on this like tiny beach chair. And he would say some katha and then stand up, walk some more. So this time when I was thinking like that, we sat down with him and he told this story to show me that I should be grateful. Go ahead.
So, he's in the next, after Srila Gurudev shared this pastime, he goes into sharing how merciful Nityananda Prabhu is. and he tells the pastime of Mini Ketan Ramdas how there was a big festival going on, a big kirtan going on, and in that kirtan was a associate of Nityananda Prabhu named Mini Ketan Ramdas, and he was such a character, such a personality that no one could really recognize him. He wouldn't just to give his mercy. He would hit people. Grenade that wasn't really hit, right? It was like a tap with. Yeah, you never know. With his flute, and he said he would say during kirtan. Sometimes he would stand up. Sometimes he would offer pranams to people. Sometimes he would climb on people's shoulders. Sometimes he would hit people with his flute. Sometimes he would slap people on the back. But tears were always flowing from his eyes, and he was always calling out, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. So during this kirtan, there was the pujari that was there when when Mini Ketan Prabhu was chanting Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Everyone
Whose house was that?
Krishna, the brother of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Mini Ketan, when Mini Ketan Prabhu came in, the pujari didn't stand up. And so Mini Ketan Ramdas said, oh, here we find the second Rama Harshan who didn't stand up as when Balaram came in. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's brother, during when this happened, he got very upset with Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he said, everyone's here is just singing about Nityananda Prabhu, but what about Mahaprabhu? You all are just giving this preference to Nityananda Prabhu and not Mahaprabhu, so there's something wrong with you all. Not realizing that they're, as we've heard earlier, that they're one and the same. And when we worship Nityananda Prabhu, we're worshiping Mahaprabhu. When we worship Mahaprabhu, we're worshiping Nityananda Prabhu. Same with as when we're worshiping Krishna, we're worshiping Radha, we're worshiping Krishna. So Mini Ketan Prabhu was so upset that he broke his flute and stormed out. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was also so upset with his brother that he said, I'm never speaking to him again. And he left him. And he went back to his place, but then he realized, I can't stay here. I can't be in the vicinity of my brother. So he was thinking what to do, and he dozed off. And when he dozed off, he had a dream of Nityananda Prabhu. And actually, it's so beautiful. Nityananda Prabhu in his full splendor. Where did it go? He describes in his hand was a golden stick. His form was very large and had a glossy dark luster. He had an earring in one ear, and his beauty was marvelous, just like Baladev in Krishna Lila. So, and then he told Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, why are you upset? Get up, go to Vrindavan.
This is the picture.
So he instructs him to go to Vrindavan. And there he'll get the mercy.
Had he already left his house when that night he had a dream? Or was he still in his house?
He had left. He left his house. And he arrived in Jamatpur village. But from there he didn't know what to do. So he was thinking what to do, and then he has this dream, and Nityananda Prabhu orders him to go to Vrindavan. He said, there you'll receive the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami. And then he said, and Nityananda Prabhu was so grateful. He said, for just a little insult from your brother, you've left him. You've given him up. So how much mercy he got by that. He said, from that little act, I'm getting so much mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. That then he left and he headed to Vrindavan. And when he got to Vrindavan, he sees Vrindavan in full splendor. Not like I see Vrindavan when I go and I see the pigs and the broken buildings and the poop and the but she's yes, the Charnamrita. He saw Krishna taking the cows out to graze, and the gopis, and all the leelas of Radha and Krishna. And when he gets there, again, I'm just skipping forward. People requested after once he's there. Fast forward a little bit. He's requested by everyone to then write Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he didn't feel like he could, so he prayed to Sri Madan Mohan to do so. And when he made that prayer, Radharani's garland fell and landed on him, and so then he took that as direct order and reciprocation from Madan Mohan to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he says that Madan Mohan wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita for him, that he's not the author. So by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, sending him to Vrindavan, we are all recipients of his mercy for getting this glorious Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we wouldn't have without him.
Again, it came from Nityananda.
Again, came from Nityananda Prabhu. Exactly. So gratitude is essential. We see how, even in Krishna Lila, how grateful he was to Draupadi for fixing his finger, and then gave him so much mercy, came back, incarnated as her sari to cover her from the Kauravas. And so we're praying that we can just do a little.
By Nityananda's mercy.
Nityananda mercy, we can go, if we go on Harinam more.
Who was he? Who did he get darshan of by Nityananda's mercy?
Who?
I'm asking.
Who? Shri Krishna's Kaviraj?
Yeah.
He got darshan?
Of what deities? Govinda?
Oh, all of them. 7 main, right? Govinda, Gopinath, Radharaman, Radha Damodar, Gokulananda, Govindaji.
And then Gurudev was giving a darshan with my godbrothers. They said, have you had darshan of these deities? Yes, Gurudev, we did. I have not.
We're praying to Nityananda Prabhu through who's a Khanda Guru Tattva. We can have darshan of all these deities, have darshan of the Dham, and show. Yeah, we do. We have Radharaman Bihari right here. Yes. Yeah. That is the mercy. Jai Shintana Prabhu ki.
Jai. Wonderful. Thank you for picking that one and doing it so well. Panchakalpatrivyascha kripasindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ebhyo namo namaha. It's nice when who's ever speaking reminds us of so many things. You know, I was thinking of what you said, or what Gaur said you said, about, you said it was Visvarup who became Shankararanya, became when? After he left? After he left the world? When he took sannyas. Oh, his name was Shankararanya, and it was he who... Yeah, I remember in one of Prabhupada's purports it said, some say it's this, some say it's that, so it's definitely the consideration there.
I think the lecture that Nitya had on, the devotee was reading Prabhupada's book, and Govinda Maharaj was sitting there, and he would give a little bit there and there.
The devotee was what?
Was reading Prabhupada's book.
Right.
He was reading something, and yeah. To make some comments. So then he read that, and I was like, whoa, because we usually hear a lot. Well, first we hear some random, not random, but sometimes we hear some sadhu came and asked for Nitai. That's a whole sad story.
Sometimes we hear Lakshmi.
Sometimes we hear Lakshmi Pati. Sometimes it's that sadhu brought him and then met Lakshmi Pati.
Yeah.
But then I heard today it was Shankararanya, and I was trying to do the math in my head. I was like, wait a second, how old would he have to be And then I was like, I don't know if it adds up.
And that would be amazing because it's like the plenary portion
Oh yeah.
of Nityananda came to take him out of home, the
Yeah.
full Nityananda.
And then when he gave up, we didn't give up his body, but he then entered back into Nityananda.
Did that,
When
yeah.
he finished his pastimes in Puradar, I don't know how to say it. Cool. Jai, class over. Let's episode. Om Gyana Timarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Nama Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Tinamine Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Nityananda Rama Ki Jai. Okay, so we've heard some very nice pastimes. But first I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Pamarajita Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, to my Guru Varga, unto the lotus feet of Srimati Janava Devi Thakurani, and the Shamarayan Didi, for having us all gathered here today to sing
Oh, that
and
reminds me,
praise
since you mentioned Janavi Devi.
Janava.
Yeah, it was Nityananda who did the first parikrama, and now it's the Navadvip Mahatmya book.
He also sent Jiva Goswami.
Wow.
Jiva Goswami came, got the mercy of Lord Nitai, and then he was sent to Vrindavan, just like Krishnadas Kaviraj, to join Rupa and Sanat.
Yeah.
So the mercy of Nitai is just like boom, 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 boom.
Boom.
There's one, yeah, I was gonna say Raghunath Das. Let's start with that then. The story of Rag. Now I won't say the whole story, but pretty much Raghunath Das Goswami, we all know, he was a young prince and he was trying to escape all the time to go join Mahaprabhu, but his family was like, no, you're staying here. We've got you nicely married to a princess. You have everything to enjoy in this world. Be peaceful. But he couldn't. His heart was already captured. His mind was already captured. And so he was like, how can I get away? Then one day he was out with his servant guards and he was witnessing Lord Nityananda sitting on a nice stone with like this effulgence, surrounded by so many devotees. And from a distance, he was just appreciating Lord Nityananda, but he didn't think to go approach. And then at that moment, Lord Nityananda said, there's a thief. Bring him to me. Bring this thief to me. And so then Raghunath Das Swami came to him and he said, oh, you're a thief. You know why you're a thief? Because you're trying to get the association, the mercy of my Prabhu, of Mahaprabhu. But you haven't asked for me. You haven't begged. You haven't gone through the right channel. In other words, one has to approach Guru first before we can get the mercy of Krishna and Mahaprabhu.
Didn't they give another reason too?
What was the reason?
That you're standing so far away. It's like you're stealing yourself from me.
Yeah,
Come closer, and then he forced him closer.
Yeah, he brought him
and
in.
Then he put his foot on his head.
Put his foot on his head. Because sometimes, at least for me, it's sometimes easier to like stay away from the Vaishnav and just kind of witness from the back, but not create any relationship or do any service. Just kind of take their association from afar. Yeah, because you get too close to the fire, you get burned. Just look at Vasanti. So then, no. So then, but he was brought in, he was given the mercy, and his punishment for being such a thief was to prepare a big feast for all the Vaishnavas assembled, which became the Panihati Chip Rice Festival. And then, so anyways, that's a whole other pastime. We'll do that another day. But pretty much, he served Lord Nityananda the way he asked, and because of that, even Lord Chaitanya himself appeared in that festival, but only to a few people could see, and he was also fed the chip rice. So this is also by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. All right, now let's go back in time, back to his birth. Well, let's go back to Shamarayan Didi's Katha. The importance of understanding these truths about Lord Nityananda, about how he's Baladev and how he's Mula Shankarshan, Maha Shankarshan, all the Purusha Avatar Vishnus, is to show that even though in this pastime, Lord Nityananda might seem like an avadut, he might seem crazy, he might do these things that don't fit the social norm, that he's actually the supreme being. He's like the number two in charge. There's Krishna and Krishna's first expansion. And like we heard, he does everything for Krishna. From top to bottom, left to right, he does everything for Krishna. Because the more important feature of Lord Nityananda, as well as all his expansions, is that they have this seva abhiman. They have a desire to serve Krishna. They don't expect to be worshipped like how Narayan is or how Krishna is. They want to serve the Lord. And so this is how they embody the Guru Tattva, the principle of service to Sri Krishna. So I just wanted to say that. So now when we enter into Lord Nityananda's pastimes, we don't think of him as a goofy guy. He's actually the supreme being. He can create universes and destroy universes. He can give liberation in an instant, and he can cast you out. So anyways, in his childhood, we heard the beautiful childhood pastimes. There was one that Nitai had on today. I'll just say it real quick and brief. Well, I'll have to cut half of the pastime out to make it brief. But pretty much in the pastime of the Pandavas, see where Ekachakra is located, it's called Radhadesh. And Lord Ram didn't go to Radhadesh, but the Pandavas did. They passed through there in their exile. Well, actually, they were hiding at the time. And so they stayed in this village in Ekachakra, and there was a demon there. And the demon would kill people, so they made an arrangement with the demon. Okay, please stop eating us and killing us, and we'll give you once a month, we'll cook a big feast, and we'll offer that to you as well as one villager. And so the demon's like, okay, very well. I expect it on my doorstep once a month. And so the villagers all took turns cooking the feast and offering one of their family members. So the house that the Pandavas were staying at, it was their turn to offer the feast and the family member. But it was only a mother, a father, and a son. So the father said, "I will go, offer myself." But then the mother said, "If you go, then we'll die without you because you're providing." And the mother said, "I'll go." And the father said, "But
I
without
thought it
you,
was the Pandavas. They're 5 brothers.
it will be." But first, it's the villager's house. It was the villager's house turn to.
But I thought you said now it was the Pandavas' turn.
It is. I'm getting there. Okay. The Pandavas were staying at this villager's house, and they overheard the family crying. But all the members had left. All the Pandavas had left except for Bhima to go beg for bhiksha, because during this time they were incognito, and they were begging for alms. They had no money. Even though they're the emperors of the world, they were begging. And so Kunti asked, "Why are you crying? What's going on?" And she explained the situation that there's a demon. It makes us offer these things, and now one of us has to be offered. But if it's the husband, we'll die because without him we can't make any wealth. If it's the mother, we'll die because she takes care of all household affairs. So the son said, "I'll go," and they said, "No, if you go, then we'll die because without you, what's the point of our life?" Because they were kind of attached. So then they said, "We'll all go together. We'll just all finish our lives together," to the demon. And Kunti said, "No, no, no, you don't have to do this. You only have one son. I have 5 sons, and I'll just send one of my sons." And the villagers were like, "No, no, you can't do that for us. We would like lose all our dharma and all our punya. Everything would be gone." He said, "No, no, you don't understand my son Bhima. It won't be a problem. He'll be happy to go. Trust me." So, anyways, they sent Bhima, and Bhima was like, "Let's go." And so they cook all this prasad. I think it was like 400 pounds of rice and other things. I don't know if you remember Nitai. There was like some numbers that Gorgovinda gave. It was like 400 pounds of rice. It was a wagon full. Yeah, and Bhima was happy because he's been doing this begging for the past time. And when the Pandavas begged, they would collect all this, and they would immediately, whatever they collect, they would cut half of it, and that would go to Bhima, and then the others would split the rest. Because Bhima has a ferocious Herculean appetite. So anyways, Bhima's all happy. He's riding this ox cart with all this prasad, and he's just eating it all. Then he gets to the cave, it calls for the demon. The demon comes out really angry, and then Bhima just makes short work of it. But during that time, Arjuna had come back from begging and asked Kunti, his mother, "Where's Bhima?" He said, "Oh, he went to go kill a demon." He's like, "But mother, what if there's a problem? I'll go right away and help Bhima." So he went off. But as he was going through the jungle to the demon's lair, he's thinking, "I might not get there in time." So he takes one of his weapons, this serpent weapon, the snake weapon, chants the mantra, shoots the arrow, and a snake arrow flies ahead. Arjuna's thinking, like, I can shoot the arrow faster than I can run. Anyway, on the way there, he passes Bhima. Bhima's like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "I've come to save you." And he's like, "Well, I'm all good. Let's just go back." And Arjuna's like, no, no, but I've already sent the snake arrow and I have to go retrieve it or the snake arrow is going to do damage because it's a weapon. So then he was like, I'll be back. Just let me go take care of my arrow. So he eventually got to the arrow and the arrow is just sitting there thinking, well, now it's a snake. It's like, I need to do something. I need to attack. Like I've been sent on a mission. So then Arjuna says to the arrow, the snake arrow or the snake, look, you just stay here in this little cave and just be peaceful. And the snake's like, peaceful? I have to eat, I have to exist. And he said, okay, how about this? Anyone that happens to cross by, you can attack, but don't go anywhere attacking people. And the snake's like, all right, very well. So for 5,000 years, that snake had stayed there, just randomly attacking people that happened to pass by. So now, in Ekachakra, Lord Nityananda has appeared. And Lord Nityananda had heard from the villagers, don't go in the forest there, there's a snake that will kill you. So Lord Nityananda then
But
went
the
to...
snake didn't follow Arjun's
He
instructions.
followed, but you can't go past the snake.
Oh.
Like if you happen to walk past him, he's allowed to eat you.
Oh.
But he can't travel and eat you.
I see.
So then Lord Nityananda went to the snake and he went to the cave where he was and he told the snake, hey, what are you doing? And the snake then told this whole story. I'm actually Arjuna's weapon. I was told to stay here. So then Lord Nityananda said, okay, you can stay here, but no more killing people. In fact, you can live inside this hole, and then I will tell the villagers, and they will bring you sumptuous prasad, and then you'll be taken care of, so no more need to killing. And just to make sure you stay in your hole, he took off one of his earrings and put it on top. It started to expand, and it covered the hole. Until this day, you can actually go to this place in Ekachakra, and you can see the stone, and underneath is a giant cobra. But you better give an offering, because you might be the offering. No. So anyway,
How can a arrow eat?
because it was no longer an arrow, because it became a snake.
Oh.
By divine mantras. It's called a Pashu something. No, something Pashu.
And where is this?
Bhima fought and killed the demon, so the demon was done. And the snake had nothing to do, so this is a big story. We shouldn't go this far. But
Where is it far from?
The story? I don't know, but we just heard it, Gaur Govindamars tell the story.
I understand.
And I also read it in his, years ago I read this story in his Krishna Karnamrita magazine. But I don't know if the story is from Chaitanya Bhagavat or where it's from. But I've heard it now several times. But it's just a neat story that this was a childhood pastime, and this is also why Lord Nityananda has one earring, because he gave that earring to hide the snake. All right, so then he was taken, like we heard, by a sadhu, whether it be Lakshmipati or another sadhu or Shankaranya, Aranya, and that broke Hadai Pandit and his mother Padmavati's heart, as you can imagine. It was also he had a brother, but I don't know that pastime too well. And then he traveled to all the holy places, as we heard from Sharda. He then heard the divine aerial voice saying, your brother you're looking for is actually in Navadvip. Go there. So then he left and went all the way to Navadvip. But when he arrived, he thought to himself, I want to test to make sure this is really my Prabhu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide, and he has to find me. He will have to know that I've arrived, and he'll have to know where I'm staying. So he stayed at the home of Nanda Acharya in a place in Mayapur called Ishodhan. And then at that moment, Mahaprabhu knew, or Nimai Pandit, he knew, oh, my brother has come. So he told all of his followers, all his friends, he says, please go out and search the streets for a Mahapurush. And you'll know when you see him. He'll be effulgent and divine looking. So everyone went in different directions, and they all searched all over Nadia. And they looked everywhere, but they could not find him. So they all came back by the evening and said, oh, Mahaprabhu, we couldn't find any Mahapurush here. He said, okay, come with me. So then he took everyone to the home of Nanda Acharya, and in that moment, when the door opened, Lord Nityananda was standing there, and Lord Chaitanya was standing there, and when their eyes locked, they froze, and they just stared at each other. And Lord Nityananda just drank the beauty of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu also drank the beauty of Lord Nityananda, and then they fainted. They just collapsed on the ground, and no one knew what to do to wake them up, but except for Sri Gadadhar Pandit. He then chanted this beautiful verse, Bahar Pitam Nata Barakara. We'll do it in her melody. Vibradvasam Kanakapavisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randram Venu Adara Sura Puraya Gopa Vrinde
Pararamana
Pravishakita
Pravishadagita
Kirti.
Kirti.
And this beautiful verse talks about Krishna has his peacock, his bahar pitam, his peacock feather, and he wears golden cloth. He has a Vaijanti mala, and he's resting one hand. Oh no, he's not resting a hand. That's another verse. He's walking in the forest with his cowherd boys and friends, and you can see their footprints, and all the cowherd boys are singing their glories. And at the same time, he's filling the flute with the nectar of his lips throughout all of Vrindavan. In brief. But it's a beautiful verse. And so when upon Gadadhar Pandit speaking that verse, then immediately the two lords got up and they embraced again. And the Chaitanya Bhagavat draws it out more, where there's more fainting and more getting up. But it was quite an ecstatic experience for them to meet once again after all this time. And then Mahaprabhu brought him back to his home to meet Mother Sachi. Mother Sachi's heart was overwhelmed with joy because she had lost one son, Vishwarup. The eldest brother of Lord Chaitanya had left home early to take sannyas. And so upon gaining Nityananda, she became happy again, almost like Vishwarup had come home. Because technically, Vishwarup is an expansion of Lord Nityananda. So now the root of her child has actually come home. At the same time, Lord Nityananda also developed a relationship with Malini Didi, the wife of Srivas Pandit, and he saw her as his mother, and so he would do many pastimes with her. I'm not going to say them because they sound a little bit strange, and if we don't have faith in Lord Nityananda, our mind might make offense. But he acted like her baby child. Sometimes he would walk around naked, and he was always laughing and smiling, and he didn't understand the world around him. I mean, he did, but he was in such ananda that he was always in bliss. He would just sit there and smile, and he would come over from Srivas's house to Mahaprabhu's house, and he'd be all naked, and Mahaprabhu would have his turban wrapped up, and he'd be like, "Oh, Nitai, you've come again, oh gosh." And he would take off his turban, and he'd wrap Nitai around, and Nitai would sit down, and they would always laugh and smile, and they would share prasad that Mother Sachi would cook. And then one time, Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh, Nitai," because Nitai, he has an interesting past when he did all his traveling. He was like a brahmachari. He kind of took sannyas as well, but he wore brahmachari kopans. So one time, Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh, Nitai, give me your kopans." And so Nitai's like, "Okay, here." And then Mahaprabhu began to tear pieces off and told all the Vaishnavas, "Take a piece of Nitai's kopan and tie it to your head." And very happily, everyone tied a piece of Nitai's kopan to their head. He said, "Because Nitai has no lust, he's always in Ananda. If you take this, you'll be protected by Maya. All good fortune will come to you." And so everyone will be happily wear the kopan of Lord Nityananda. So if you ever get a chance to get your guru's kopan, you can always tie it to your head because it's a Kanda Guru Tattva. So that anyway, so many pastimes happened there in Navadvip. One day, they had a big kirtan. They always had big kirtans. Big kirtans. Mahaprabhu would always faint in ecstasy, and Nitai would always protect the body of Mahaprabhu, like, do not touch him. If you read the CC, you'll see when Mahaprabhu goes into these fainting spells, it might from the outside world look like he's fainted, but inside Mahaprabhu's heart, he's now having darshan of Radha and Krishna's pastimes. And when he gets woken up prematurely, he gets upset because he was just there with Radha and Krishna. Now he's back in this world, which is something us Raganuga sadhakas could appreciate. Well, not us, but the Raganuga sadhakas can appreciate that sometimes when you're in your siddhadeya doing this manasi seva, and it can be disappeared, and then you come back to reality, and then you weep, and you'll compose prayers like Raghunath Das Goswami did and Bila Kusmanjali. But anyway, so Nitai would then protect the body of Lord Chaitanya. Jai Shri Shri Radha Man Bihari Ju Ki
Jai.
But they would have these rip-roaring kirtans, and these two lords would dance. And they were so tall and so effulgent and so beautiful and so nicely decorated. Sometimes Mahaprabhu would decorate Nimai. He would put an asana down and have Nitai sit in front of him, and he would smear chandan all over his arms and put on his ornaments, and he would just smile at the beauty of Nitai. And Nitai would just be in supreme bliss, Nityananda. And he would just look back at Nimai, and then they would dance and they would wave and tears would run down their eyes and their cloths would fall. So many sweet times. One time they had a big kirtan and Mahaprabhu fell into huge ecstasy, and he came in the mood of Balaram, and he demanded his plow and his club, and he said, "Bring me my hala, bring me my musa," and then he said, "Bring me Varuni," which is like a wine that Lord Balaram would sometimes drink, like a honey wine. And all the devotees were thinking, what does he mean by Varuni? So they just brought him some Ganga Jal, some Ganga water. Mahaprabhu drank that. And he began to call out, Nada, Nada. And everyone's like, who's Nada? But then they found out that that was a name that Mahaprabhu gave to Advaitacharya. And he would say, he called me here. Now I'm calling, and it's other pastimes. But then later, after Mahaprabhu would calm down and beg forgiveness for his ecstasy, Lord Nityananda would still be rolling around in ecstatic love, and everyone would go home, and he would just wander around Srivas Pandit's house. And on this occasion, he broke his dunda, because he also had a dunda. He broke his dunda into pieces, and then he broke his kamandalu, and he would just sit there and just kind of like in madness. And we can't understand Lord Nityananda. That's why he has the name Avadut, because he appears to be a madman at times, but really he's just intoxicated with Krishna Prem. And he's thinking about all the pastimes of Braj. And he's even thinking, when he's opening his eyes, that he's seeing Vrindavan. So it's hard for him to understand which reality sometimes he's even in, because he's just flooded with Prem. And so then the next day they were told Mahaprabhu, oh, Mahaprabhu, Nitai has broke his danda, broke his kamandalu, and
Kamandalu.
kamandalu. And so Mahaprabhu's like, oh, Nitai, just go take bath in the Ganga. And then Nitai would go take bath in the Ganga during the rainy season, which was filled with crocodiles. And he would just jump in and start swimming and floating with the crocodiles. And all the Vaishnavas would be so scared. Oh, Nitai, come back, it's crocodile, crocodile. But he would swim like he was Anantasesh, just floating in the water, chasing after crocodiles. And everyone's, oh, Mahaprabhu would have to call him, Nitai, come back. And he would only obey Mahaprabhu. And so Nitai would then swim back. And he's like, time to get dressed. At one occasion, Mahaprabhu said to Srivas Pandit, today is the day before the Vyas Purnim, and I want to do this Vyas Puja, before Guru Purnim, and I want to do Vyas Puja tomorrow. And Srivas Thakur said, okay, I actually have the book on how to perform Vyas Puja. I just have to gather some ingredients. He's like, oh, very good, we'll do it tomorrow. So then the next day, they set everything up nicely, and everything's ready to start. And they give a garland to, the Mahajan, Nityananda. Said, now please garland Vyas. And then Nityananda just grabbed the garland and was like, okay. They're like, well, you can do it now. And he was just like, yeah.
Wasn't there like
There's a picture of the
what's that called? That auspicious thing with the swastika on it.
Was like a coconut or a kalal?
There was something representing Vyasadeva.
I thought it was a picture, but it might not have been a picture.
I see.
But there was some representation of Vyasadeva. And they said, please garland. And Nitai was like, yeah. And they're like, oh no, he's going into Avadut mode. They're like, please just put the garland so we can begin the worship. He's like, And then Lord Chaitanya then appeared, or not appeared, but he came into the assembly. And they said, oh, Mahaprabhu, Avadut again is not doing, he won't put the garland of Vyas. And as soon as Mahaprabhu came and said, Nitai, please garland Vyas, immediately Nitai garlanded Mahaprabhu. Because Mahaprabhu is the Adi Guru. He's the source of everything, the source of Vyas. Where did Vyas get all his knowledge? In the Bhagavad Gita, we hear that Krishna says, Vedanta Vit, Veda Vit, Evacham. Like, I am the source of the Vedas. I am the Vedas, I'm the compiler of the Vedas, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. So Vyas is simply his literary incarnation. So then in this way, Nityananda Prabhu is garlanding Mahaprabhu, and in that moment, Mahaprabhu showed his six-armed form to Nityananda. Nityananda then fainted. And this six-armed form was holding the chakra, gada, the chakra, I'm trying to think of the name. the conch, the lotus, the club, and then also the plow, and Balaram's club. Pretty much it was the form of Vishnu and Balaram kind of combined in one. And then Nityananda fainted. They had to wake him up again. So this is a pastime of Vyas Puja. But these are all Navadvip pastimes. And I want to say a couple more then. What time should I go to? Well, now the offering started.
Well, she's also, you didn't speak yet. Oh, you're speaking Sunday.
But Gadagar's going to speak.
I prepared the same pastime that Vasanti spoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so he'll speak Sunday with Ragadi.
On another pastime. Right. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying whatever coming to head to my mind right now.
It's good to communicate.
So I can keep going?
No, well, I just have a question first.
Okay.
Huh? I'm just not very happy about the fact that Bhima killed the demon so that the demon wouldn't kill any of the villagers.
Yeah.
But then Arjun came along and he made this snake who killed so many people.
I thought about that too.
So what's the benefit?
I was like, why would Arjuna just let a snake live, just kill people? But I think Arjuna didn't say you can kill people. He said whatever passes by that you.
But that doesn't matter.
Well, I'm gonna write a letter to Arjuna right now. I'm gonna ask him.
Arjun?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to
The Arjun?
the Arjun. He has the email account called thearjun@spiritualworld.com.
All right, it's good. I have to go because I have an appointment, but you can continue.
Shrimati Shamarani Didi Ki Jai. Nityananda Prabhu Ki. Akhanda Guru Tattva Ki.
What about the parikrama that he took?
Sanjeev Goswami.
That he took Jiva Goswami on? You know about that?
I mean, it's the whole party program.
Yeah. It's up to you. Otherwise we can end here.
No, I'll just say a couple more. Whatever
You
pops.
say a couple of more pastimes.
Oh, we can just end now. Sing? You want to sing? Wait, or are we having an arti? I think everyone's done. Yeah, add a couple more, but we'll do it some other day. Okay. Anyone want to sing a nice little something to Lord Nityananda? Sri Nityananda Trayodasi ki jai. Sri Nityananda Mahajan ki jai. Nityananda Roy ki jai.
Why are you spying on me and my king? Right outside my house. Why you spying on me, bro? Listen to what I'm listening to. You have it up loud. I hear other things. Oh, you were not. I was not in the ashram.
He has very good hearing. He hears everything.
So you heard the singing and everything with the car stuff? Yeah, you heard everything.
Because your head's right outside the window.
You can hear your thoughts. You can hear it. You like murmurs. Well, I'm glad I can hear service. Y'all need to wake up and
No, it was great.
not sleep. So there you go. I'm gonna do that every morning. How about that?
I was in the shower actually, and now I can hear the Hare Krishna coming through, and I was like, take a long shower. Shower? That's how I drive. I have one of these long.
All right, keep talking, buddy.
I was gonna pull a whole.
She said to keep talking. That's gonna give instructions.
I was gonna pull a whole.
Bathroom.
Yeah, nap time.
Yeah, I've been up since 3:45. Yep, that's time to wake up.